Hey, this is Shweta, and in this video we will study about basics of C, and the topics are array, one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array. First we will see what are array. It is a collection of objects of same type. It has some finite size. We should be able to selectively update a single element. Here if I want to update this 6 and I want to replace it from a different number like 9 or anything else, so we can update a single element of an array. An array is defined in C similar to defining a variable. So we define a array similar to a variable in C, like we define here we have defined array int a5. So we also define variables like int a, b, c, or etc. So int a5, here 5 indicates that 5 is not any number. 5 is the size of the array. The square parenthesis indicates that a is not a single integer but an array, and 5 is the size of array. The number of elements and the number of variables that can be accommodated inside the array is 5. So here a0, a1, a2, a3, a4 are the index of the array. A0 is the address of the first element of an array. Here the first element will be stored. Here the second element of the array will be stored. Here the third, here the fourth, and here the fifth number of the element will be stored. So these are called the elements of the array. And 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 indicates the index of an array. Now look at one example. Here we have taken has include stereo.h, men int I have taken I a variable, and int a5 for I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I is equal to I plus 1. Okay. So here it will print so ai is equal to I have assigned the value of ai. So here I have taken I less than 5 means it is the exit condition, that after 5 it will not gonna print any value. So ai is the element of an array, and we are assigning the value is equal to I. So it will print ai is equal to I. So I have taken another example to make you understand that int I, int a5, the same example, size is 5. We can store 5 variables inside this array. So for I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I is equal to I plus 1, ai is equal to I plus 1. We are assigning I plus 1 inside the array ai. So when I is equal to 0, here I is the index, I representing the index of the array A. So when I is equal to 0, we are starting from I because the indexing of an array starts from 0. So we'll start from 0 when A is 0, ai is equal to I plus 1. So when I is equal to 0, then ai is equal to 0 plus 1, that is equal to 1. So 1 will be stored inside a0, and similarly 2 will be stored inside a1, 3 will be stored inside a2, and 3 plus 1, 4 will be stored inside a3, 4 plus 1, 5 will be stored inside a4. So we have in previous example we have defined array of int type, and here one can define an array of float, array of char, or array of any data type. So here we have taken just a random example, not making any sense. Float num 100, here 100 is the size of this array, or we can say that the number of variables that can be stored inside this array. Char s 256 means 256 number of variables can be stored inside this array. So float num 100 is defined an array called num of 100 floating point numbers index from 0 to 99 and name num0, num0, num1, num2 up to num99 here. And char S256, this defines an array called S of 256 character, index from 0 to 255 and named S0, S1, S2 up to S255. We have num100, num101 and so on are undefined because no storage has been allocated for them. Compiler will compile it and it will not show any error, but when we run the program may crash. So it may have some chances to crash the program. Next, we are taking one example to find the average of 10 numbers. Here I have defined these variables a10, that is an array of 10 integers, and I variables, and initialize the sum is equal to 0, and I want to find the average. So average will be maybe in point, so I have stored this average in float. Now I have printf, print 10 numbers, and we have started a loop for I is equal to 0, I less than is equal to 9, I plus plus. Then I have read these values. Now I have again taken a loop for this sum plus ai, and now I will find the average. Average is equal to sum divided by 10, because I have taken 10 numbers, so divide by 10, printf average. So here we have initialized this sum is equal to 0. Initialize sum is equal to 0. So when I is equal to 0, then the value at a0 will be sum with this 0. Then 0 plus value of ai will be ai. Then again when I is equal to 1, then ai plus sum, the previous value plus a1 will be added, and similarly the process will be same, and we will get the summation of these 10 numbers, and average can be find out by dividing the sum by the number of elements. So this will help us to find the average of numbers, 10 numbers. So it is very easy to find the average of 10 numbers with the help of array. If we are taking 10 variables and 10 variables, storing the values in 10 variables, then we are finding the average, then it will be more complex. So arrays also helping us in reducing the complexity of a program. So how will you declare an array? So declaration of array, in previous example we have seen that int a and there is a square bracket semicolon. So if we leave the square bracket empty, then it will show some error, because inside the square bracket we are declaring the size of the array, and this will show some error if we are leave it blank. Now if I am taking int a3, so indexing will start from a0, then a1, then a2, so it will create three blocks. Sorry. Now I am declaring here and initializing also, that I have taken int a bracket is equal to 4, 5, 6. So 4 will be stored in a0, 5 will be stored in a1, and 6 will be stored in a6. Here we can you can see that I have not defined the size, but I am initializing the value, so it will automatically store these values in a0, a1 and a2. Now when I am giving the size of the array and initializing the value also, so the similar process will be here also. Now int a3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. means I have defining the size is 3 and I am placing the values more than 3, so it will show some error. And when int a3 is equal to 4, 5 and if we are taking the size equal to 3 and initializing less value, then after that I have taking the size 3 and initializing two value 4 and 5, the third will become 0. So these are the one dimensional array. Now two dimensional array. Two dimensional array is similar to one dimensional array, only here this 3 and 4, B3 4. 3 represents the number of rows and 4 represents the number of columns. Here B3 means there will be first there will be one block of B, and then there will be 3 blocks inside them, then 4 blocks inside these 3 blocks. So it is easier to understand if we are understanding this with the help of rows and column. Row will be start indexing from 0, 0, 1, 2, and column will be indexed from 0, 1 to 3. So the number of elements, we can find out the number of elements inside the B will be 3 into 4. The number of columns into number of rows will be the number of variables that can be stored inside this array. Now this is a simple program to just add two matrices, and then corresponding matrices will be, I have declared matrix A, matrix B and matrix C. I have taken for loop just to increment these values and to insert the values, and I have taken C is equal to A, array A and array B, and the corresponding elements will be sum up and the result will be print out. Now in previous lecture I have not included the advantage and disadvantage of recursion, so I have included in this lecture that what are the advantages. Advantages are recursion helps to reduce the unnecessary calling of function. Through recursion one can solve problem in easy way, while its iterative solution is very big and complex. And the disadvantage of recursion is recursive solution is always logical and it is very difficult to trace. Recursion takes a lot of stack space, is really not considerable when the program is small and running on a PC, and recursion uses more processor time. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of recursion. Thank you.